Now, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Create the future that you want to see. Now, there's nobody in this world who can do it for you, and a lot of us do think that there is an uncle, an aunt, and all of that. It's important to have a support system, people who can support you here and there, to make the journey easier for you. But if you think that somebody is going to create that future for you, nobody will create it for you. Now, let me tell you, a lot of you might want to argue right now and say, okay, like all the top government functionaries in Nigeria who have amassed wealth and they are building overseas and in Nigeria, they have oil refineries, they are creating futures for their children. Now, do you know that a man may be very wealthy with so many oil refineries and have the best of cars and private jets and all of that and have children, but when a child refuses to create a future for himself, you find out that even with the wealth that the family has, that child ends up being nothing. Have you seen situations like that? Because if you have not seen, I can give you instances, 1, 2, 3 instances like that. Now, your future is something that you create for yourself. And that is why you hear people speak and tell you that it starts from the mind. If you cannot, if you cannot, like mentally, if it is not there, it cannot materialize, like it cannot be a reality. It's even in the Bible. It says, as far as you can see. God was saying to, was it Moses? I don't know. Bible scholars, gather here, gather here, gather here. Let's see. Was it Moses that God said that, as far as you can see, I give to you? If you cannot see it, if you cannot visualize it, it will never, ever, ever come to pass. It will never come to pass. To truly predict the future, you must actively take steps in shaping your own destiny. You see, people who have, made good progress in life did not just achieve it. A lot of us sit back. I have said this before. You know that I would not want to talk too much about this because this is a very sensitive issue. People don't understand it. A lot of us sit back. We have what we want to achieve. And what we do is just pray for that thing to happen. Prayer is not a strategy. Prayer cannot help you achieve what you want to achieve. And that is why the word of God says, faith without works is dead. The only time you can pray and succeed is when you are praying and you are working towards achieving the object of your desire. I see a lot of people come to say this. People will insult them, attack them from all angles. Now, there are a lot of us who have, we have visualized the future that we want. But we are not putting in that work, strategic work that we need to put in to achieve that future. You see that, you think that, things can just happen on them, on its own. You have been doing one thing to achieve that future for the last 3-4 years and nothing is happening. You have not moved from point A to point B. Even the first milestone you have not been able to reach, but you're still working with the same strategy to try and achieve that future, and you're trying to predict the future. You can never be able to predict a future. The best way to predict your future is to put in the work that you need to actualize it, so to bring it to reality. And it's important to know that I will say this and say this over and over again. Life may be tough, but I want to believe that this generation, I'm not talking about the Gen Z generation, their own is even better. But where we are today is one of the best times that life has offered us. There is technology. You can sit at home and make a lot of money. You can, you don't necessarily have to, go through so much to acquire certain degrees or knowledge to help you actualize your goal. The information is out there. It is free. As long as you have an Android phone and you have data that you're using to call friends and gossiping and talking, you can use the same data to find out information that can help you. Now, I want to tell you something. There's something on the internet today that is called the Seller app. Now, when you look on, when you go to Facebook, okay, you see people who are telling you, I created this kind of image. You can get this image. You can start a movie online. I am a social media captain. If there's any word like captain, I'm a social media manager. I can manage your accounts. And these people make so much money. And they'll tell you just pay 2,000 naira. And you will see somebody who is telling you for cat corp. Is it cat corp? Cat court, sorry. For cat court, that you're supposed to pay about 70-something thousand in a year, you can pay 2,000 something and get cat court free for 1 year. You will see other people who are telling you, you can do this, you can do that. You see all of this running through social media. People are buying. This time, they are not advertising this knowledge for 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. They are telling you to pay 2,000, 3,000 and all of that. If you have money, key in. Get the knowledge and use it to better your life. Now, I was talking about something called the seller. Seller, there is nothing you want to know that you will not find on that seller app. All of these, experiences that people are gathering on social media, on editing, on marketing, on designing, on website designing, on fishery, or anything. It is right there, compact. People like you, young people, women, men, are selling their knowledge there. What do you know how to do? Do you know how to make hair? You want to put it into, a virtual document and put on seller for sale. They will sell it for you. Now, when you sit back and all you're doing is just sitting down there and thinking your future is going to be happenstance, it will not. You have to work it out. You want to predict the future. You need to begin to do something. And don't sit there, everything you're saying is complain. The government is not doing this. The government is not doing that. Because we have been there since like the longest time. My younger sister's husband told me something 7 years ago I will never forget. He calls me Wanyoma. He calls me my correct in-law. That's what we call each other. He says Wanyoma. Anybody who is sitting in this country and waiting for the government to create infrastructure or facilities that will help them, scale up their life, that person is living in denial. It will never, ever happen. It's up to you to create it. He said this 7 years ago. And that is the truth. Sit down there and whine. When you see people who are talking about Nigerian politicians, how the economy is bad, go and carry Joko and go and sit there and contribute. In fact, win the argument, so make sure you win it. Because a lot of us is to win argument. Make sure if you don't win that argument and start fighting, don't leave there. It's not going to change anything. If you like, argue from here till God will have to intervene for our, for our system, for our economy to grow. How will God intervene? God is going to bring people who are ready to put in the hard work and make the economy grow. But if you sit down there and you say that you want to be arguing, you want to be whining, the environment is not enabling, this is why there's no food, there are 190 million people going through that. Sorry, this is not to minimize what people are going through, but it's to let you know that Now is the best time to be the best that you can be. Now is the best time to get up, sit up, think of what you want to do and how you want to scale up your life. And, you know, bring that future that you envisage closer to you. Now is not a period to whine. No. You want to whine, you're going to whine. Now, the best way to predict the future is to put in the hard work, is to be resilient, is to, you know, be steadfast, is to leave all the guilt behind you, work tall, and decide that today I want to, you know, create something for myself. I may be in the farm. The other day I said this. This video is not just for people who are in the mainstream society. I am talking to those who are inside those forests, farmers and all of that. You have data, you have an Android phone. For crying out loud, and for Christ's sake, if your Android phone is not making money into your account, because don't buy it. It's a waste. What do you need Android phone for? Buy Palasa. Use the money to do something else. Because you cannot have an Android phone at this age and time. You're buying data every day. What are you buying data? To go online, and you're trolling people who are busy making money all over the place. You troll them left, right, and center. Every page you are there. Use this one. In fact, open a channel, the trolling channel, and, you know, bring up conversation on how you have been trolling people. People will go and watch, and you will make money. People have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts on Instagram, on YouTube. Some people have 5 accounts. They are cashing out on 3 or 2 of those accounts. Look for different niches. Are you cooking inside a forest? Pack your firewood, sit down, bring your plantain leaf, sit down, prepare your meat and do things. Let people see. Start up a life. Do something. Not to sit and say, 5 years time, this is what I want to do. God is going to help me. God is not going to help you. If you do not start putting things at work, faith without work is dead. You have to work out, you know, everything, then God is going to help you that way. Now, what is it that you're doing? If you want to predict your life, your future, the best way to predict your future is to create that future that you desire. So this is the Mindset Mentor Podcast with Anusong. I am your host. If you think this video has brought you any value, kindly subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell. If I'm not asking for too much, because subscribe. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Mwah.